Hey everyone, welcome back because the Katie Bates and Travis Clark situation is getting heavier, messier, and way more complicated by the hour. First up, Katie finally explains why Travis chose to confess publicly, and it's not just damage control. Katie says Travis wanted transparency and accountability after privately expressing regret, but fans are split on whether that was brave or humiliating. Meanwhile, the internet is pulling receipts and saying the warning signs were there long before the confession. People noticed fewer couple posts, missing holiday moments, deleted content rumors, and Travis basically vanishing from the vibe, especially when Katie spent more time with sisters and friends. And the big detail fans can't stop talking about? His absence in key moments around her pregnancy loss footage. Next, we've got the timeline twist. Katie and Travis announced they were quitting YouTube on December 19th, 2025, calling it their final video after 4 years. At the time, it sounded like school, kids, and burnout. But now fans are wondering if that exit was actually the first quiet clue something was already falling apart. And finally, Reddit speculation is spiraling. People are throwing around words like separated, arguing over whether Travis is in Florida or New Jersey, and obsessing over the so-called house situation. To be clear, there's no confirmed statement that they're separated, but the silence, the distance vibes, and the prayer-heavy comments have fans genuinely worried, not just gossiping. So, what happens next? Stick with me. If you want every update as it drops, hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell because this story is moving fast. Travis Clark's cheating confession wasn't just a sorry post. Katie Bates says there was a very specific reason he chose to do it publicly. This matters because the timing shocked everyone. Katie shared her heartbreaking miscarriage, and then Travis admitted he'd been unfaithful, turning a private crisis into a public storm overnight. Here's what's new. After days of silence, Katie finally broke her silence with a long, emotional note that reads like equal parts pain, boundaries, and brutal honesty. She doesn't sugarcoat it. She straight up acknowledges that their marriage has been deeply hurt and that her trust has been broken. And she makes it clear this is not how she imagined entering a new year or a new season of life. But the headline detail is why Travis confessed publicly. Katie says it was Travis's decision, something he felt he needed to do after privately expressing regret. In her words, after privately expressing deep regret and sorrow for his actions, Travis told me he felt it was important to publicly take accountability for what he has done, and I support his decision and desire for transparency. That one paragraph is setting the internet on fire because it answers the biggest question people were asking. Why would he confess like that and put Katie on blast? A lot of fans accused Travis of humiliating her, especially because his confession landed right after her pregnancy loss announcement, when emotions were already at their highest. And Katie's message doesn't deny that it's painful. She basically confirms this is incredibly painful for her and their family, but she frames the confession as accountability, not attention-seeking. Katie also shifts the focus to what she wants people to understand right now. She's taking life one day at a time, and her priorities are crystal clear: her children, their future, and her own healing. She adds that she and Travis are working both together and individually to seek counsel and figure out the best path forward, which strongly suggests this isn't a quick "we're fine" update. It's a long, complicated process. And then comes the boundary line that hits hard. She asks for privacy. Katie reminds everyone that social media is her work and she can't delay it forever, but that doesn't mean she owes every detail. Meanwhile, Travis's original confession included a full apology. He admitted to being unfaithful, said he'd broken her trust, and claimed he wasn't asking for forgiveness or expecting it, while also urging people to respect Katie's privacy. So yeah, this isn't just cheating drama. It's grief, betrayal, and a public accountability choice that has people arguing over whether it was courageous or cruel. fans are split. Some praise Katy for staying composed and setting boundaries, while others say the transparency explanation still doesn't justify the timing, and they're side-eyeing what else might be behind the scenes. Keep it locked, because the internet says they saw the signs weeks before Travis confessed. Up next, why fans think Travis was acting suspicious long before the announcement, and the social media clues they swear gave it away. Now, here's what's new in the fan narrative. People are digging up the breadcrumbs they claim were hiding in plain sight, and Reddit is basically acting like a full-time detective agency. According to Chatter, about 3 weeks before Travis confessed, users on the Bringing Up Bates subreddit started noticing what they called a major shift in the couple's online rhythm. Less together content, fewer casual appearances, and a vibe that felt off. One Reddit thread in particular set the tone. A user pointed out that Katy's end-of-year posts seemed to include 0 pics of Travis, mostly friends and kids, while Travis rang in the new year in a photo with his brother and a friend, with no Katy in sight. The same user also claimed Travis's December recap didn't feature her, which people read as a giant red flag, because this couple built their brand on being a unit. Then the speculation snowballed. Commenters alleged the couple had been posting less with each other around the holidays, and some fans even claimed content had been deleted or cleaned up. Add to that the rumor that Travis stopped doing YouTube, and suddenly people were like, wait, is this a quiet separation or something worse? But the biggest receipt fans keep pointing to isn't even a post, it's an absence. Viewers were stunned that Travis wasn't seen in Katy's emotional pregnancy loss. People noticed he wasn't in the hospital footage, and he didn't appear in the clips documenting her experience. And for longtime followers, that felt bizarre, because Travis had historically been right beside her during major life moments. To many fans, that absence didn't feel accidental. It felt like a sign something in the relationship was already fractured. On top of that, viewers claim Katy seemed to be spending more time with her sisters and friends, while Travis appeared missing from family gatherings and holiday celebrations. And once the confession hit, those older, small details instantly turned into what fans called proof that the marriage had already been in trouble. Now, to be fair, not everyone buys the detective storyline. Plenty of people are pushing back, saying social media isn't real life. Couples take breaks, content changes, and one missing holiday photo doesn't automatically equal an affair. But the timing is exactly why the fandom won't let this go. When a confession lands like that, people go straight into rewind mode, looking for any earlier clue that might explain how it got here. And that's why this story keeps growing, because it's not just he cheated, it's the haunting question fans can't stop asking. How long was this falling apart before we knew? The comments are split into 2 camps, one side saying, stop overanalyzing, give her privacy, and the other saying, no, the patterns were screaming, we just didn't want to see it. Don't touch that dial, because the timeline gets even weirder when you look at what they quietly did 1 month before the confession. Coming up, the surprise YouTube exit that's now being reinterpreted as a giant flashing warning sign in the Katy and Travis saga. And this is the timeline twist people can't stop talking about. Katy and Travis actually announced they were done with YouTube nearly a month before everything exploded. The video is dated December 19th, 2025, and the title alone is dramatic in hindsight. Our final YouTube video, Thanks for Everything. In the video, they're sitting together on the couch, calm, almost sentimental, like a typical life update farewell. Travis kicks it off by saying this is their final video, while Katy looks a little stunned, like she still can't believe they're saying it out loud. He goes on to reflect on how he suggested starting the channel, how the first upload was filmed on an iPhone, and how far they've come over 4 years. Then comes the official reasoning. Travis says he's starting school, the kids are growing up, and managing YouTube has become a lot of work. They explain they enjoyed the journey, but between school obligations and family life, it's time to close that chapter. Katie adds that Travis had countless sleepless nights editing, and they emphasize that they'll still be active on other platforms, just not YouTube anymore. At the time, fans mostly accepted it as normal influencer burnout, but now, post-confession, people are reading that goodbye through a totally different lens. Comment sections are full of viewers saying the video feels off, like there's tension under the surface, or like they're forcing calm because something bigger is happening. Some are hyper-fixating on body language, whether they're sitting too far apart, whether the energy feels less affectionate, whether Katie looks like she's holding back emotion. And others are saying, no, stop projecting, this is just how they always are. But the reason this matters is because the YouTube quit date lines up almost perfectly with what fans claim they noticed on Instagram and Reddit. Fewer couple posts, missing holiday vibes, and Travis not showing up the way he used to. So the theory goes like this. The YouTube exit wasn't random. It may have been an early move to reduce public pressure while they dealt with private chaos. Or, another theory, YouTube was simply too intimate, too many long-form moments, too many chances to get caught in inconsistencies, so stepping away made it easier to control the narrative elsewhere. And here's the spiciest part. Some viewers are now wondering if the channel ended because Travis starting school was only part of the story, and the real reason was that filming happy family content while the marriage was breaking down would have been impossible. Others think the goodbye was pre-planned and has nothing to do with the cheating, just tragic timing that makes it look suspicious. Fans are split between this was the first clue, 100%, and you're rewriting history, let them grieve and heal in peace. Up next, the house situation, the location rumors, and why fans are whispering separated even though there's no confirmed statement. Here's the latest wave. A worried Reddit thread popped up with a tone that wasn't even snarky, it was emotional. The vibe was basically, Katie has been on my mind tonight, and people started asking if anyone had real confirmation about the state of their relationship, because rumors were spreading that they're separated, some even throwing around legally. And once that question was asked, the thread turned into an investigation board. The most repeated question wasn't even about cheating anymore, it was location. People claimed Travis might be in Florida, others insisted New Jersey, and suddenly everyone's asking, if Travis is traveling or bouncing around, is Katie still at the house? Did she leave? Is he gone? Or is the internet just inventing a storyline out of silence? That's where it gets tricky, because the thread is split into three very loud camps. Camp 1 is the skeptical crowd. Hold up, where is this coming from? What proof do we actually have? And honestly, that's the most reasonable take. Social media rumors move at lightning speed, and once people repeat the same phrase, separated, moved out, house situation, it starts sounding real even if it's based on vibes, not facts. Camp 2 is the vibe changed crowd. They're pointing to what they see as classic influencer couple red flags. Fewer couple posts, weird gaps, no recent appearances together, and that awkward quiet that makes everyone assume the worst. In reality TV land, silence isn't peace, it's gasoline. And then there's Camp 3, the blunt detectives who treat it like a mystery to solve. Their logic is simple. If everything is fine, why not pop up together and shut it down? And that right there is why influencers get trapped, because if they say nothing, people assume the worst. If they say something vague, people pick it apart. And if they address it directly, it becomes the headline forever. Now, the phrase that keeps coming up is the house situation, and whenever fans say that, they usually mean one of three things. Either they're not living together right now, there's a move happening, or they're dealing with something private, health, stress, family, that they're keeping offline. But what makes this feel heavier than typical gossip is the prayer energy. When people lead with, "I'm praying for Katie and she's been on my mind tonight," that suggests fans think something is wrong beyond normal marriage drama, something emotional, scary, or deeply painful.
So, what can we actually say based on what's in front of us? There is no confirmed statement that Katie and Travis are separated. What we do have is a surge of fan speculation driven by location confusion, the lack of normal together content, and a fandom that's reading patterns like evidence. Some fans are begging people to stop being invasive, while others insist the silence is exactly why the rumors keep growing. Because when your relationship is part of your brand, everyone notices when the rhythm breaks. Now, you tell me, do you think this is just a quiet, hard season, or are we watching a real breakup unfold? Drop your take in the comments. This is Talk X. Stay fabulous, Talk X fam.